Hello everyone. Today we're going to be picking up right where we left off last time on the Oki printer fax manual. So before using fax, this chapter describes the basics of this equipment you should learn before you start using it. Description of each component, control panel, touch panel, options, connecting cables. So getting started. Description of each component. Control panel. This section describes the buttons on the control panel used for the fax functions. For any details of the control panel not covered in this document, refer to the Quick Start Guide. ES9455 MFP, ES9475 MFP series. So here we have a diagram of the control panel. So fax button, use this button to display the fax screen when you use the fax function. Tip, when you use the internet fax function, you also press this button. For details of the internet fax function, refer to the scanning guide. Setting button. Use this button when you register/make settings such as initial setting for the fax function. Digital keys. Use these keys to enter fax numbers, etc. Reset button. Use this button to clear all current selected functions and return to the default settings. Stop button. Use this button to stop any scanning in progress. Start button. Use this button to start scanning a document for fax transmission. Clear button. Use this button to cancel entered numbers. Attention lamp. Use this lamp. Attention lamp. This lamp lights when an error occurs and this equipment needs some actions to be taken. Data lamp. This lamp lights when there's a received secure receive fax job. Print button. Use this button to print a secure receive fax job. Data in memory. This lamp lights when there is a received fax which is not printed yet and its data are still in the memory. Touch panel. This is P10 touch panel. Tip, this lamp does not light when the equipment is in the super sleep mode. Very cool. Alright, next, the touch panel. This section describes the fax screen on the touch panel. For any details of the touch panel not covered in this document, refer to the Quick Start Guide. So, starting off, we have the header area. The name of the currently selected function and buttons related to the current status of this equipment are shown here. 2. Message indication area. Various messages such as the status of this equipment and operating instructions are shown here. Operation object area. The operation related buttons and text boxes are shown here. Alert message indication area. Messages are shown here to inform you of various alerts such as the replacement time of toner cartridges and waste toner boxes, or the existence of a received secure receive fax job. Data and time. The current date, that says date and time, my apologies. The current date and time are shown here. Job status button. Use this button to view the job status or its history. Tip, when this equipment is managed under the department management or user management key and user information such as the department code, username, and password to display the operation screen. For details of the operation, refer to the Quick Start Guide. Options. This section describes the options related to the fax function. Fax unit. This unit enables the use of the fax function. Second line for fax unit. GD-1260. This board enables the use of 2 lines for sending and receiving faxes. Now, connecting cables. Be sure that the power of this equipment is turned off before connecting the cables. ES9455 MFP, connect here. ES9475 MFP series, here. As following. Line 2, connect a telephone line when the second line for fax unit is installed. Line, connect a telephone line. Tel, connect an external telephone. Notes, do not connect this equipment and the external telephone to a telephone connector in parallel. Use the external telephone without an answer phone or with the function off. to be connected with the TEL. Sending, receiving a fax. This chapter describes how to send and receive a fax. Sending a fax, basic procedures, handling an original, setting the transmission conditions, specifying the recipient, other transmissions, receiving a fax, reception mode, originals, and paper. Sending a fax. Basic procedures. This section describes the basic procedures to send a fax. For details of in-depth operations, see the page under each procedure as required. Besides the basic sending functions described in this page, there are various useful ways to send a fax. These procedures are described in the following pages. P32, other transmissions, P49, advanced functions. 1. Place the original or originals. Check the original size and scan range, etc. Place the originals on the original glass or RADF, reversing automated document feeder, in the correct direction. The illustration above shows the original placed on the original glass. Handling an original. Press the fax button on the control panel, located here. The fax screen is displayed if you leave the screen unattended for the period of the auto clearing setting time, 45 seconds, by manufacturer default. The screen returns to the default one automatically. Press Option and set the transmission conditions. The transmission condition setting screen is displayed. Set the transmission conditions such as resolution, original mode, exposure, and transmission mode as required. Page 21, setting the transmission conditions. Specify the recipient. To specify the recipient, dial the number using the digital keys on the control panel or use the address book. To display the preview screen, press Preview. This feature is available when the hard disk is installed in the equipment. Displaying the preview. Press Send. The fax is sent or reserved. Tips. Alternatively, you can press the Start button on the control panel. In the memory transmission mode, the original is scanned into the memory. Once a connection has been made, this equipment automatically starts sending the scanned document. In the direct transmission mode, the fax number is dialed immediately, and the scanned document will be sent. Transmission conditions can be set in the transmission condition setting screen. If memory becomes full during scanning in the memory transmission mode, that original will not be stored in memory. When that happens, reduce the number of originals you are sending or try sending them in the direct transmission mode. You can check the status of the current sending. You can also cancel the transmission, deletes the job. Checking and canceling communications. That's on page 41. Redial function. In the memory transmission mode, if the fax cannot be sent due to a busy line, the fax number is redialed automatically to send the fax. By default, this equipment redials 3 times at 1-minute intervals. Batch transmission function. If there are multiple transmission jobs to the same recipient in memory, you can send them at once using this function, resulting in reduction of communication costs. However, if their recipients are the same but their transmission conditions vary, or if users or departments are different when this equipment is managed under the department management or user management, this function is not applied to those reserved jobs. Sending the next original. If an original is placed on the original glass and its scanning is completed, the confirmation screen for the next original is displayed. If you want to continue scanning of the next original, place it on the original glass and then press the Start button on the control panel. Once all the originals are scanned, press Job Finish. If you place an original on the RADF, reversing automated document feeder, and press the Continue button during scanning, the confirmation screen for the next original can be displayed after the scanning is completed. If you leave the screen unattended for a period of the auto clearance setting time, 45 seconds by manufacturer default, a copy of the scanned originals is sent. To cancel the transmission in the memory transmission mode, press Job Cancel. Page 45, canceling the memory transmission. To change the transmission conditions for each page, press Option. Page 24, changing the settings for each page. Now moving on to handling an original. Originals that can be sent. This equipment can send a fax of the following originals. You can place one-sided or two-sided originals of the media types such as standard paper, recycled paper, and paper having holes 2, 3, or 4 holes for filing on the RADF Reversing Automatic Document Feeder. On the original glass, you can place one-sided originals of the above media types, as well as OHP film, tracing paper booklets, and three-dimensional objects. Following table shows this. Location, original glass, maximum size, length 297 millimeters, width 432 millimeters, paper weight, doesn't show, original size, North American format, LD, LG, LT, LTR, ST, STR, comp, AB format, A3, A4, A4R, A5, A5R, B4, B5, B5R, and folio. Then RADF, length 297 millimeters, width 432 millimeters. Paperweight, one-sided originals 35 to 157 grams per meter squared. Two-sided originals 50 to 157 grams to meter squared. And then North American format, LD, LG, LT, LTR, STR, comp, AB format, A3, A4, A4R, A5R, B4, B5, B5R, folio, ST/A5 is not available. Do not place any objects 4 kilograms or 9 pounds or over on the original glass, and do not press it on it with force. If the original is any of the following sizes, it automatically rotated and sent as described below. A4 to A4R, A5R to A5, B5R to B5, LT to LTR, STR to ST. Original scanning range. The following figures show the original scanning area. Any information in the shaded area is not printed on the paper. LD, LG, LTR, STR, comp, A3, A4R, A5R, B4, B5R, folio, and then second LT, ST, A4, A5, B5, as shown below. That's going to do it for today's video. We're going to cut it short here. Couldn't finish the entire chapter, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for another coming video. Catch you guys in the next one.